So here's that CRT again, and I thought maybe while I've got it hooked up, I'd just point out a few things about maybe for somebody that's building one of the kits. Let's see, let me get the board halfway focused in here. This being a DG7-6 CRT, this has got one atypical feature. Most CRTs don't have the cathode connected to one of the filaments. Well, this one does. It's this one here. I always use these two wires of the filaments. I always leave them together. These are just DuPont wires. And this one's, I think, is a little darker. I'm really colorblind, but that's the one I use to designate that one over here. On the board here, this is the one that's, it's kind of difficult to see that, but this is where the wire that I'm using, the jumper from the cathode, is connected to that one on the board. And of course, it's going to the cathode adjustment, this pot here. So that's one atypical feature of the DG7-6. Well, it's really the only feature. And under here, this little bit of heat shrink tubing is a 10 ohm 3-watt resistor, which a lot of the other ones were using like a 4.7 or 5 ohm, but the DG7-6 being one of those nice Euro CRTs with the low current draw, you want to do that so that you limit the amount of current to the filament, and that way you'll get a clearer focus on it. Now, don't use an all-metal screwdriver like I do, because I'm an idiot. But don't do that. Use something that'll insulate you from the high voltage so you don't get shocked like I often do. There's the spot. Here I'm going to just turn the centering a little bit just to show. Oh, what I forgot to mention is at this stage, I've inserted these two chips here. These are digital rheostats. Can't see them that good, but these are 4132 103s or 10K digital rheostats. So both ways the centering is gonna adjust that spot pretty much from one end of the screen to the other, if you got everything right here, both ways, on both axes, X and Y. Okay, and it's more focused than it looks with these lovely iPhone cameras, but there's the focus. Again, don't do the stupid things that I do, because I'm an idiot. I take chances with my life that I shouldn't. This is high voltage I'm tinkering around with over here. Not really high voltage, but nobody should be using a metal screwdriver like I do. And of course this one here is the brightness, so adjust that. It's going to get brighter or dimmer. And then there's the gain in the middle, these two pots in the middle. Get this all metal screwdriver down. These two pots in the middle, 50K pots, are the gain, which is going to size it bigger or smaller, which of course right now I'm going to do a thing. And just looking it over might be helpful to some of my kit builders. Just make sure everything's oriented the right way. Capacitors, you know, the chips are oriented. They have an index marking to make sure they go in the right way. I kind of should mention these transistors are kind of fudged a little. They're fine, but the transistors that I normally will give you with the kit, if you're a kit builder, they're going to go in there, of course, the right way. Well, I kind of ran out of those, so I had these. They're fine, but instead of these are normally emitter collector base. When you're looking at this flat part and numbering left to right, These are actually emitter base collector. So I don't know if you can see it, but I just kind of turned the leads a little bit to get them into the right place. Anyways, nobody else is going to do that but me. And what else can I mention? This jumper is turning the high voltage one. It's down here in this very last pin in this socket, and if you count up from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's going to be the 8th one there. That's what's going to jumper. Usually I give you a diode to put here, but it's not really necessary. I just put a bare lead in there. This is OSC7.8, by the way. Here's some jumpers in here. Where is it? LV1, LV2, and under here is LV3. Go into this here. You'll be putting them in before you, that'll be one of the first things you do. That configures this for what I call low voltage, because it only generates about 600 and some volts DC across here. Let's see. If you want to measure that and you got a meter that'll go above 600 volts DC, this would be where the negative lead would go. This is the lowest negative voltage. Over here you could measure here. This is where the highest voltage, or where it's marked A3 back in here, you could measure across to there for the positive, and that would give you, without a load on this board, it's probably going to read about 630, somewhere around there. What else? Here's your jumper for 120, 240. I'm in the US, so of course I got it on 120. If you're in Europe or other countries, you'd set it on this side for your voltage, 240. That's about it. Can't think of anything else to mention. One of these days I'm going to try to get some decent quality pictures of this to help as a reference. Your toroidal transformer, which is necessary with this program with the ESP32. These are the primaries, these are the secondaries. It's pretty straightforward and simple construction. Okay, so while I got this rolling, I'm going to unplug it from my beautiful homemade cord. My beautiful, as you can see, beautifully done, neat and clean surface that I worked on, because I have a wife and she kind of follows me around trying to clean up the messes I make, but it's a full-time job. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to insert the ESP32. This little mini USB port goes on the outside, and skillfully holding my phone and recording, I'm going to try to slip that in there. Looks like it worked. And typically when I send these out, I will have it set on GPS in the menu before I ship it out. So you'll plug it in, and within 3 seconds this little neon bulb, don't do the things I do. Once again, a warning, do not stick your hands around high voltage. I'm an idiot, so I do it. Don't you do it. The little neon bulb is on. Let's see, and here we got the face. That's what I'll normally set it up on, so we gotta adjust it a little bit here. Get it towards the center. Okay. Focus ain't bad. If you wanna, man, I should not be doing this with a metal. I mean, I do it all the time, but I shouldn't be showing it to you guys. Please don't do this. Use a plastic screwdriver or something you can't get shocked with. I'm adjusting the gain. I should have been showing you here. I'm adjusting the gain, vertical and horizontal gain, to make it fit the screen. Focus is better than it looks on this iPhone, but how's that? Focus it, and I can adjust this one, the astigmatism. Whether I should upload this video or not. It's not a good example. But anyways, there we go.